The bottle shattered against the marble countertop of the penthouse kitchen, shards exploding like my unraveling sanity, as Joshua's smug voice cut through the chaos. "You think you're the only one carrying this family's secrets. Tyler, grow up." I lunged across the island, my fist connecting with his jaw, not in calculated rage, but in the white-hot blur of everything I'd buried for years. The lies, the longing, the lie of my marriage. His head snapped back, blood trickling from his lip, but instead of swinging back, he laughed, low and broken, his hazel eyes locking onto mine like a dare. "Finally. Hit me again, brother-in-law. Make it mean something." That night in the Hamptons beach house, our family's annual escape from the Manhattan grind, marked the beginning of the end, though I didn't know it then. The air was thick with salt and the faint char of the grill, where Dad flipped burgers like he could sear away the cracks in our perfect facade. Sarah, my wife of 5 years, lounged on an Adirondack chair, her blonde waves catching the sunset, scrolling through her phone with that effortless poise that had first drawn me to her. She was the golden girl of the Kensington dynasty, Harvard Law, junior partner at our firm, and the glue holding her fractured family together. Me, I was the outsider who'd clawed his way in. Tyler Hayes, small-town Ohio transplant, top litigator by sheer grit, but always the guy who felt like he was auditioning. Joshua Kensington was the real star, the one everyone orbited. Sarah's younger brother by 4 years. He was the prodigy who'd skipped a grade, aced Yale at 19, and landed at our firm straight out of clerking for a Supreme Court justice. 28, openly gay since he was 16, with that effortless charm that made boardrooms bend to his will and strangers spill their secrets over craft cocktails. He had Sarah's cheekbones but none of her guarded warmth. His were sharper, honed by a life of turning heads and breaking hearts. Golden brown skin from their mom's Ethiopian heritage, hazel eyes that shifted like traffic lights from amused to predatory, and a smile that could disarm a deposition or devastate a lover. He was perfect. Too perfect. And I hated him for it. Started small, the way these things do in families like ours, where resentment festers under layers of privilege. Our first clash was at the firm, 6 months after I'd married Sarah and joined Kensington and Associates as a favor to her dad. Joshua had been assigned as my mentor, a joke, since he was fresh out of law school but already billing like a rainmaker. In the glass-walled conference room overlooking Central Park, he'd leaned back in his chair, tie loosened just so, and dismantled my closing argument on a multi-million merger case. "It's solid, Ty," he'd said, voice smooth as bourbon, "but you're playing chess while the board's on fire. Add the indemnity clause here, seal it." Everyone nodded, like he was handing down gospel. I seethed through gritted teeth, forcing a "thanks, Josh," while inside, I pictured wiping that condescending smirk off his face. At home, our sleek Upper East Side apartment, all mid-century modern lines and Sarah's curated art, it bled into everything. Sarah idolized him, quoting his quips at dinner parties, defending his late nights at the office as passion for the work, while I drowned in case files. "He's just like you, Tyler-driven," she'd say, her hand on my knee under the table, oblivious to the storm brewing. But it wasn't drive I hated, it was the ease. Joshua didn't claw, he glided. No Ohio trailer park ghosts haunting his ambition. No scholarships scraped together from odd jobs. He was born with the silver spoon and the rainbow flag, waving both like they were extensions of his wit. The beach house weekend was supposed to mend fences. Dad had insisted. Family time, before the depositions bury us all. Mom, ever the peacemaker with her yoga retreats and essential oils, had planned charcuterie boards and sunset walks. Sarah and I arrived Friday, our Audi crunching over the oyster shell drive, her laughing about some office gossip as we unloaded. Joshua pulled up last in his Tesla, top down, wind-tousled hair and a duffel slung over one shoulder, greeting us with hugs that lingered a beat too long on Sarah, a wink for me that felt like a jab. Dinner was civil, the kind of upper-crust ritual where wine flows freer than truths. We sat on the deck, waves crashing below like applause for our charade. Dad regaled us with war stories from his days arguing before the Ninth Circuit. Mom chimed in with affirmations. Sarah leaned into me, her head on my shoulder, whispering, "This is good, right?" All together. I nodded, sipping my Cabernet, eyes flicking to Joshua across the table. He was mid-anecdote, charming the waiter who'd lingered to clear plates, his laugh pulling the room into orbit. When he caught my gaze, he raised his glass. To family, the original co-conspirators. I clinked mine against it, the crystal chime too sharp, like a warning. That night, insomnia hit like it always did after too much red. Sarah slept soundly beside me, her breathing even, the sheets tangled around her legs. I slipped out, padding barefoot to the kitchen for water, the house creaking like an old ship. Moonlight slanted through the sliders, silvering the counters. And there he was, Joshua, in nothing but low-slung boxer briefs, pouring himself a nightcap from the decanter. His back was to me, broad shoulders tapering to a lean waist, the kind of body that spoke of Peloton sessions and rooftop yoga, not the weight room grind I hid under my suits. He turned, unstartled, that half-smile curling. "Can't sleep, Hayes? Or just spying on the help?" I froze, glass halfway to my lips, heat crawling up my neck, not from embarrassment, but something sharper, unnameable. Just thirsty. "Go back to bed. Prodigy," he chuckled, low and throaty, leaning against the counter in a way that made the light play across his skin. "Bed's overrated. Besides, Sarah snores like a freight train, genetic curse." He slid a tumbler my way. "Scotch neat. Join me." Misery loves company. Against my better judgment, I took it, the burn steadying me as we stood there, elbows brushing the cool marble. The conversation started light, firm gossip, a mutual client who'd ghosted on fees but veered, as it always did with him, into the personal. "You ever miss Ohio?" he asked, eyes probing. "The real America, before we corrupted you with all this." I snorted. "Miss the winters that freeze your balls off and dads who think faggot is foreplay? Nah. This suits me fine." The word hung, unintended, a landmine I'd stepped on without thinking. Joshua's expression flickered, amusement edged with something raw. "Careful, Ty. That's my lane you're swerving into." He set his glass down, the clink echoing. "But yeah, I get it. Coming out in a family like this, it's like dropping a grenade at Thanksgiving. Dad still flinches when I bring a date." I wanted to pivot, to crack a joke, but the scotch loosened my tongue. "Must be nice, though." Owning it. No hiding behind a ring and a mortgage. His gaze sharpened, holding mine. "Hiding? Is that what this is?" He gestured vaguely at the house, at Sarah's door down the hall. The air thickened, charged like the storm clouds rolling in off the Atlantic. I drained my glass, the empty tumbler a shield. "Forget it. Night, Josh." As I turned, his hand caught my arm, firm, not aggressive, but enough to stop me cold. His touch was warm, calloused from fountain pens and gym bars, and for a split second, the world narrowed to that point of contact. "Tyler," he said, voice soft now, almost gentle. "Whatever you're carrying, you don't have to solo it." I jerked away, the kindness feeling like pity, and stormed back to bed, heart hammering. Sarah stirred as I slid in, murmuring my name in her sleep. I lay there, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, the ghost of his fingers burning on my skin. Hate? Yeah, that was easy. But what coiled beneath it, that was the real threat. The next morning dawned brutal, humidity clinging like regret. Breakfast was a buffet of awkward silences and forced cheer. Pancakes stacked high, bacon crisping, but the undercurrent from last night lingered. Sarah, oblivious, planned a hike along the bluffs, her enthusiasm a lifeline. "Come on, boys, fresh air'll fix everything." Dad begged off for a golf call, Mom for meditation, leaving the three of us to trudge the wooded trail, pines whispering secrets overhead. Joshua led, of course, his stride confident, turning every root and rock into a casual lesson on local flora. "See that? Beach rose. Tough as hell. Thrives in salt." Sarah laughed, linking arms with me, but my eyes tracked him, resenting how the dappled light crowned him like some forest god. Halfway up, she begged off for a blister check, plopping on a log with her sneakers off. "You two go ahead. Scout the view." It was a setup, or fate's cruel joke. Alone on the crest, wind whipping off the ocean, the world dropping away below. Joshua paused at the overlook, hands in pockets, surveying the endless blue. "Beautiful, huh? Makes the bullshit feel small." I joined him, arms crossed, the vastness mocking my turmoil. "Until you remember the bullshit pays for it." He glanced sideways, that probing look again. "What's eating you, Ty? Really?" Last night wasn't just insomnia. The words bottled up for years, the firm, the family, the marriage that fit like a bespoke suit but chafed in the seams, threatened to spill. Instead, I deflected. "Just tired of being the straight man in your circus act." His laugh was sharp, wind carrying it away. "Straight man? Please. You're the one playing house while the rest of us burn it down." He stepped closer, close enough I could smell his cologne, cedar and citrus, clean and invasive. "Admit it. You hate me because I see you. The real you, clawing under that wasp armor." My pulse thundered, fists clenching at my sides. "Back off, Joshua. You don't know shit about me." "Don't I?" His voice dropped, challenge laced with something velvet. "I see the way you watch. Not with hate, with hunger." The world tilted. I shoved him, hard, palm slamming his chest, sending him stumbling back a step. His eyes widened, not in fear, but spark alive, electric. For a heartbeat, neither moved, breaths mingling in the salt air, the bluff's edge a metaphor too on the nose. Then Sarah called from below, her voice slicing the tension. "Guys, view worth it." Joshua straightened, smirking through the shove's echo. "Worth every step," he called back, holding my gaze a beat too long. We descended in silence, the trail blurring under my feet. Hate him? God, yes. But as Sarah slipped her hand into mine, all I felt was the phantom press of his chest under my palm. Solid, unyielding, and utterly forbidden. Back at the firm that Monday, the weekend's undercurrents simmered into something volatile. Kensington and Associates occupied the 42nd floor of a midtown tower, all polished brass and views that screamed power. My office overlooked Bryant Park, a sanctuary of leather-bound tomes and framed diplomas, but that week felt like a cage. Joshua's desk was across the hall, glass walls no barrier to his comings and goings. Him on calls with that velvet timbre, charming clients into six-figure settlements, or leaning in conference rooms, sleeves rolled up, exposing forearms corded from who knows what vices. Our next clash came midweek, a late-night war room session on the Whitaker merger. The partners had dumped it on us, high stakes, deadline crunch, the kind that made or broke associates. Sarah was in D.C. for depots, leaving me solo with him, pizza boxes and Red Bull cans littering the table as the clock ticked past midnight. "You're stalling on the IP clause," he said, not looking up from his laptop, fingers flying. "It's airtight, but you're padding it like it's your eulogy." I slammed my pen down, the clatter echoing. "And you're speedrunning to glory, as usual. Ever think collaboration means more than dictation?" He leaned back, steepling his fingers, that infuriating calm. "Collaboration? This is me saving your ass from a malpractice suit. But sure, let's collaborate. Tell me why you're tanking this." The room closed in, fluorescence buzzing like accusations. I stood, pacing to the window, city lights a glittering accusation below. "Because not all of us were born with a golden parachute, Josh. Some of us have to prove we're not just riding coattails, yours, Sarah's, the whole damn Kensington Express." He rose too, slow, deliberate, crossing to stand beside me. Too close again. His reflection overlapping mine in the glass. Dark scruff on my jaw, his clean-shaven precision. "Coattails? Tyler, you're the best closer we've got. That's why Dad paired us. Not pity, partnership." "Partnership?" I scoffed, turning to face him, our breaths sinking in the charged space. "Like last night in the kitchen? Or the bluff? Feels more like sabotage." His eyes darkened, the humor fading. "Sabotage? Or just calling your bluff?" He stepped in, invading my space, voice a murmur. "You push because you want to pull. Admit it." My hand shot out before thought, grabbing his tie, yanking him forward until our foreheads nearly touched. "Fuck you, Joshua. You think you can psychoanalyze me into your little game?" His hands came up, not to push away, but to grip my wrists firm, anchoring. "Game? This is real life. Ty. Messy, ugly, alive. When are you gonna stop pretending?" The door swung open then, our paralegal, bleary-eyed with fresh printouts, shattering the moment. We sprang apart, me dropping the tie like it burned, him straightening his collar with a cough. "Timing," he muttered as she dumped the stack and fled. We wrapped at 3 a.m., exhaustion a thin veil over the unresolved. In the elevator down, shoulders brushing, he broke the silence. "Truce? For Sarah's sake." I nodded, jaw tight. "Truce." But as the doors dinged open to the lobby's marble hush, his fingers brushed mine. Accidental, or not, and the spark reignited. Hate was safe. This pull was apocalypse. Weeks blurred into a tense détente, the firm a pressure cooker where every glance across the hall felt loaded. Sarah noticed the edge, attributing it to billables. "You two are like oil and water." She'd tease over takeout sushi in our kitchen, chopsticks waving. But hey, results speak. Whitaker closed yesterday. Dad's over the moon. I'd force a smile, chasing wasabi with sake, while Joshua's text buzzed in, "Nice work, partner. Beers Friday, neutral ground." I deleted it, but the invite gnawed. Neutral ground sounded like a minefield. Instead, I buried myself in motions, late nights blurring into dawn runs along the Hudson, pounding pavement to outrun the coil in my gut. Ohio boy through and through, stoic, self-reliant. But Joshua had cracked the facade, exposing wiring I didn't know existed. Was it envy? Sure. Of his unapologetic life. But the dream started then. Fragmented, feverish flashes of his laugh in the kitchen. The bluff's wind, that tie in my fist. I'd wake sweating, Sarah's back to me, guilt a lead weight. The family dinner at Dad's club, the Union League, all mahogany panels and crystal decanters, escalated it. Sarah's birthday, low-key intimate. Parents, Joshua, and her best friend Mia from college. I arrived late, traffic a bitch from a Queen's Court run, loosening my tie as the maitre d' led me to the private room. Laughter spilled out, Joshua mid-story, animating some firm foible with gestures that drew Mia in. Sarah beaming, Mom's eyes misty with pride. "Tyler, the man of the hour," Joshua called, rising to clap my shoulder, his grip lingering. Warm, steady. I shrugged it off, sliding into the seat beside Sarah, kissing her temple. "Sorry, babe." "Gridlock." "No worries," she murmured, squeezing my hand under the tablecloth. "We saved you the foie gras." Dinner flowed like vintage Bordeaux. Toasts to Sarah's latest win, Dad's anecdotes from bench days, Mom's subtle nudges toward grandkids. Joshua played MC, his charm a lubricant, but his foot, accidental, brushed mine under the table. I jerked back, spilling water, drawing eyes. "Clumsy," I muttered, face heating as he mouthed sorry with mock innocence. Later, post-cake, as Mia and Sarah hit the powder room, the four of us lingered over ports. Dad cornered me by the fireplace, cigar smoke curling. "Son, your gold kept that pro bono afloat single-handed." Proud, his approval, rare as hen's teeth, warmed me, but Joshua's voice cut in from the leather club chairs. "He's underselling. Tyler's the muscle. I'm just the pretty face." Dad chuckled, clapping us both. "Team effort. Like brothers." The word landed like a gut punch. Brothers. In-law. The lie of it choked me. Mom steered Dad toward coats, leaving Joshua and me by the hearth's glow, flames dancing shadows on his face. "You okay?" he asked. Low. Genuine. "Fine," I lied, staring into the fire. "Just family shit." He nodded, sipping his port. "Tell me about it." "Literally. I'm a vault. Tie. The dam cracked. A whisper at first, then torrent. Ohio winters. Dad's mill closing. Mom's double shifts waitressing. The scholarship to NYU. Nights bagging groceries to cover books. "I came here to build something real," I said, voice rough. "Not play house in someone else's castle." Joshua listened. No interruptions. His presence a gravity well. When I trailed off, he set his glass down. "That's realer than anything in this club. You're not playing, Tyler, you're fighting. And winning." Our eyes met, the fire's crackle the only sound. His hand lifted, hesitant, brushing my knuckles. Electric. Forbidden. I didn't pull away. Sarah's laugh echoed from the hall then, shattering it. We sprang apart, me grabbing my coat like a shield. In the cab home, her head on my shoulder, she sighed contentedly. Best birthday. Love you. Love you too, I echoed. The words ash. Friday beers never happened. I begged off with a migraine, but Saturday, Sarah dragged me to Joshua's gallery opening in Chelsea. He collected street art, the gritty kind that clashed with our firm's polish. Murals from Bushwick alleys, canvases splashed with protest slogans and queer icons. The loft space thrummed. Indie folk crooning from speakers, 20-somethings in vintage teas clinking IPAs, air thick with weed and possibility. Joshua spotted us immediately, weaving through the crowd in slim chinos and a silk shirt unbuttoned just enough to tease collarbone. You came, he said, hugging Sarah, then me chest to chest, his stubble grazing my jaw. Means the world. The exhibit was him, unfiltered, a Keith Haring-inspired piece on AIDS activism, raw and urgent, a photoreal portrait of two men kissing in a rain-slicked alley, defiant. Sarah oohed, snapping pics for Insta. I lingered on the portrait, the lover's desperation mirroring something in me. Joshua sidled up, voice at my ear. Hits home, right? That artist's a friend, lost his partner to the epidemic. Painted it as catharsis. Powerful, I managed, throat tight. You get it, don't you? The hiding, he turned, clothes in the press of bodies. Used to. Not anymore. His fingers grazed my elbow, guiding me to a quieter corner alcove, away from the throng. Why hide? Ty? Life's too short for cages. The question hung, his hazel eyes searching. The loft's exposed brick. The art's pulse, it stripped me bare. Because losing everything is not abstract. It's me, Sarah, the firm, all of it. And if it's already lost? He countered, voice a rumble. What then? I stepped closer, the crowd fading. Then what? His breath hitched, hand rising to cup my neck, thumb tracing my pulse. Then you burn. The kiss was inevitable, a collision born of that bluff, that tie, that brush under the table. His lips firm, tasting of IPA and risk, mine yielding then claiming, hands fisting his shirt. The world narrowed to his groan, low in his throat, the scrape of his teeth. Seconds, minutes, time dissolved. A clink of glasses nearby yanked us apart, faces flushed, lips swollen. Sarah's voice called from across the room. Tyler? Josh? Where'd you? Shit, he breathed, straightening my collar with trembling fingers. Go. I'll cover. I melted into the crowd, heart a war drum, finding Sarah by a sculpture of intertwined limbs. There you are, she said, looping her arm through mine. Joshua's schmoozing a collector. Let's snag a ride before traffic. In the Uber, her hand on my thigh, I stared out at the blurring lights, Joshua's taste lingering like sin. That night, making love to her was mechanical, guilt-laced, her moans echoing hollow. As she slept, I slipped to the balcony, city sprawl mocking my unravel. My phone lit. Joshua, we can't. But God, I want to. I typed back, delete, type again, me too. Fuck. The affair ignited slow, then wildfire, stolen moments in the firm's stairwell, his mouth on mine between floors, texts encrypted with emojis only we decoded, lunches that stretched into client meetings at hole-in-the-wall bistros in the village, where we'd talk for hours, his knee pressing mine under formica tables. Joshua was revelation. Voracious reader of Baldwin and Didion, volunteer at the Ali Forney Center for Homeless Queer Youth, the kind of man who cried at moonlight rewatches but crushed cross-exams with steel. In bed, his West Village walk-up, all exposed brick and king-sized indulgence. He was patient fire, mapping my body like a case file, drawing out confessions with whispers and touches. Here, he'd murmur, lips on my hip bone. Tell me, I'd arch, undone, spilling Ohio secrets, firm fears, the closeted terror that had married me to safety. I thought it was enough. I'd gasp, his weight pinning me, real and right. Until you, betrayal crept in shadows. Sarah sensed the distance, my late nights at the gym. The cologne she'd tease as Joshua's scent rubbing off. She'd probe gently. Everything okay, babe? You seem elsewhere. Just stress. I'd lie, hating the fracture lines spidering our life. The apartment, once sanctuary, now staged a play, her yoga mats rolled by the window, my law journals stacked accusatory on the coffee table. Joshua, too, wrestled demons, guilt over Sarah, fear of Dad's disapproval reignited. She's my sister, he'd say post-coital, tracing patterns on my chest. This could torch everything, but passion overrode reason. Our first real risk, a firm retreat in the Berkshires, team building at a lakeside lodge. Partners golfed, associates kayaked. We volunteered for the trust fall exercise in the pines, blindfolds and harnesses a metaphor too apt. When my turn came, Joshua caught me, arms strong around my waist, breath hot on my neck as the group cheered. Got you, he whispered, only for me. That night, bonfire crackling, esmores and sangria flowing, we slipped away to the boathouse, lake lapping black and secret. On a pile of life vests, clothes shed frantic, we moved like mendicants, urgent, reverent. His body over mine, moonlight silvering sweat, he confessed, I hated you first, you know. The golden boy snaring my sister, all straight-laced perfection. I laughed, breathless, pulling him deeper. Pot, kettle. You were the untouchable prince. Untouchable, he thrust, eliciting my gasp. Not anymore, after, tangled and spent, stars wheeling overhead, reality intruded, a twig snap, distant voices. We dressed in haste, rejoining the fire as if nothing, but Sarah's eyes lingered on my flushed cheeks. Missed the sing-along, she said, handing me a stick of marshmallow. Paperwork emergency, Joshua quipped, winking at the group. But her smile didn't reach her eyes. Back in the city, the cracks widened. A case went south. Opposing counsel unearthed a loophole Joshua had glossed, costing the client millions. Dad hauled us into his office, leather creak and scotch fumes heavy. What the hell? Boys, this is Kensington Standard. Joshua took the heat, voice steady. My oversight, sir. Tyler flagged it early. Lies, noble and knife-edged. Dad grunted, dismissing us. In the hall, I rounded on him. Why cover? It was your call. Because partners protect, he shot back, eyes fierce. And you're mine. The word hung mine, possessive, promising. But as we parted, Sarah waited by the elevators, arms crossed. We need to talk. My stomach plummeted. In her office, cozy with ficus and family photos, she closed the door soft, like a guillotine. Tyler's been different, distant, and Joshua always hovering. What's going on? Work, I started, but she cut in, voice cracking. Don't. I saw you at the gallery, the retreat. The looks, the touches, tears welled, her poise fracturing. Is it him? The room spun. Denial died on my tongue. Sarah. Save it. She stood, regal in ruin. I love you. Loved us. But if it's real, end it clean. For all of us. She left me there, door clicking shut, the city a hum beyond glass. I sank into her chair, head in hands, the betrayal's weight crushing. Joshua's text came hours later. Drinks? Need you. I replied, meet me. Now. It's over. The bar was a dive off Wall Street. Neon buzzing O'Malley's. Peanut shells crunching underfoot. The kind of joint where secrets drowned in cheap whiskey. Joshua arrived windswept from a run. Track pants and hoodie. No trace of the boardroom peacock. He slid into the booth opposite, ordering doubles without asking. Rough day? He ventured, clinking glasses. I stared into the amber swirl, the ice clinking like accusations. Sarah knows. His face drained, hazel eyes widening. Knows? Us. The looks, the retreat, everything. The words clawed out. Raw. She told me to end it. Clean. He exhaled slow, running a hand through damp hair. Fuck. Ty. I. Don't. I slammed the glass down, liquid sloshing. This was suicide. Her brother? My wife's? What were we thinking? Joshua leaned forward, elbows on scarred wood, voice urgent. We were thinking it's real. Messy. Yeah. But alive. I've never felt. Stop. My voice cracked. The bar's jukebox crooning Springsteen like a dirge. You don't get it. This isn't some queer fairy tale. It's her. Our life. The firm, your family. I lose everything. Josh. Again. He reached across, hand covering mine, warm, defiant. Then we fight for it. Together. I yanked away, the touch a live wire. Fight? By torching it all? Sarah's not collateral. She's the casualty. The argument spiraled, voices rising over the din. Him pleading vulnerability. Me hurling Ohio armor. You glide through life, untouched. I scrape, always scraping. A drunk at the bar glanced over. I lowered my tone, venom intact. This? It's you dragging me into your chaos. His jaw tightened, hurt flashing before steel. Chaos? That's love. Tyler. Raw. Unscripted. If you can't see that. Love. I barked a laugh. Bitter. This is lust with a side of destruction. He stood, chair scraping. Fine. Run back to safe. But don't pretend it's noble. He tossed cash on the table, storming out into the night. I sat there till closing. Whiskey a numb fog. Springsteen's Thunder Road looping like judgment. Home was a ghost town. Sarah's things packed in the guest room. A note on the counter. Staying with Mia. Call when you're ready to talk. Love. The apartment echoed. Her perfume faint on pillows. Our wedding photo on the mantel a lie in frames. Days bled into a cold war. At the firm, we were ghosts, nods in halls, emails curt as cross-exams. Sarah returned Monday, civil but distant, lunches at her desk, evenings at yoga or Mia's. I want to understand, she'd say over takeout. Eyes searching. Was it always him? I'd deflect. It's complicated. I never meant. But truths surfaced in fragments. The closet's weight, the marriage as anchor not passion. She listened, tears silent, her grace a knife twist. I thought we were building, she whispered one night, wine glasses between us. But if it's not home for you, it's not you, I insisted, throat tight. You're everything good. She touched my cheek, sad smile. Then be honest. For once, Joshua avoided me, burying in cases, his office door a perpetual shut. But glimpses, him on calls, voice steady, laughing with paralegals, forced twisted the knife. I missed him, the ache physical, his scent on my skin, his laugh in my ear. Nights, I'd scroll his Instagram, art shares, shelter fundraisers, tormenting myself with what-ifs. The breaking point came mid-month. A pro bono hearing in Brooklyn, defending a queer teen against conversion therapy holdouts. Joshua's pet project. I'd volunteered last minute, a peace offering unspoken. The courthouse was a relic, echoing marble, fluorescent hum, families huddled in benches. Our client, Alex, 17 and terrified, clutched Joshua's hand as we prepped in a side room. They can't make me straight, he mumbled, eyes downcast. Joshua knelt, voice gentle. They won't. We're your shield. To me, sidelong, thanks for jumping in. The hearing was brutal, opposing counsel, a silver-haired zealot, painting Alex as confused, citing Bible verses like evidence. Joshua dismantled it, fierce and eloquent. This isn't confusion, it's identity. Forcing change? That's the crime. The judge ruled our way. A stay granted, Alex sagging in relief. Outside, rain sheeting the steps. Alex hugged us both, tear-streaked grin. You're heroes, as he cabbed off with his aunt. Joshua and I stood under the awning. Downpour a curtain. You were brilliant, I said, meaning it. That kid, he's lucky. Joshua shrugged, rain dripping from his hair. We all need lifelines. Silence stretched, charged. Ty. About the bar. Forget it. I stepped closer, voice low. I was scared. Still am. But losing you? That's the real cage. His breath caught, hand finding mine in the shadows. Then don't. The kiss was rain-slick, desperate, his back to the pillar, my hands in his wet hair, the world a blur of honks and puddles. No bar, no audience, just us, reclaiming breath. We broke gasping, foreheads pressed. What now? He murmured. Sarah first, I said, resolve hardening. Honesty. Then us. He nodded, thumb tracing my lip. I'm in. All the way. Telling Sarah was apocalypse. I chose neutral. Central Park. Under the Bethesda fountain. Autumn leaves carpeting paths like confetti from a funeral. She arrived bundled in cashmere. Coffee steaming in to-go cups. You look wrecked, she said, handing me one black, 2 sugars, habit ingrained. We walked the loop, words tumbling. The affair's spark at the beach house, the pull I'd fought since Ohio whispers. I love you, I said, halting by the lake, geese honking overhead. As family, always. But not. Like that. Not anymore. She stopped, face crumpling. So it was always him? Under everything? No. It was us, failing to see. Tears tracked her cheeks. I wiped one, her flinch a fresh wound. I'm sorry. For the lie, The hurt. She pulled away, hugging herself. I suspected, deep down, the distance. But hoping, a sob escaped. He's my brother, Tyler. This guts us all. I know. Voice breaking. I reached for her hand. She let me, cold fingers lacing mine. What do you need? Time. Space. She straightened. Kensington steel resurfacing. And space from the firm. I'll talk to Dad. The divorce talk started swift. No fault. Amicable on paper. Carnage underneath. She kept the apartment. I couch-surfed Mia's. Then a sublet in Hell's Kitchen. Dad summoned us to his office. Face thunderous behind the desk. What the fuck is this? Family imploding. Sarah. Composed. Personal. Dad. Tyler and I. We're parting. His eyes flicked to me. Then Joshua in the doorway summoned last. And you? Stirring shit. Joshua met his gaze. Unflinching. More than stirring. I'm in love with him. The room iced. Dad's cigar snuffed out mid-puff. Jesus Christ. Get out, all of you. Before I disown the lot. Mom mediated later. Over tea in her garden apartment. Herbs scenting the air. Chamomile soothing none. Families bend. Don't break, she said. Eyes on Joshua. But trust? That's the rebuild. Sarah nodded. Fragile. I need that. From both of you. We promised therapy, boundaries, time. But alone that night, Joshua's arms around me in my barren sublet, the weight lifted fractionally. We made it, he whispered, lips on my temple. Barely, I murmured, but his heartbeat steadied mine. Winter gripped the city, slush-choked streets mirroring my limbo. The firm became battleground. Whispers in break rooms, Dad's cold shoulders, Sarah's transfers to DC satellite. Joshua and I kept professional partners in name, lovers in shadows, stolen nights at his place, where we'd cook pasta Alfredo, his terrible, mind salvaging, binge The Crown, make love slow under down comforters. But conflict brewed domestic. His wanderlust clashing my roots. Let's road trip Route 66, he'd propose. Eyes alight. See America unfiltered. I'd balk. Unfiltered's motels and meth labs. Pass. Deeper, his activism pulled late, rallies for trans rights. Fundraisers till 2 a.m., while I'd crash early. Case files my mistress. You're building walls again. He'd accuse, post-argument, voice-edged. And you're jetting off like life's a TED Talk. I'd retort, the Ohio boy rearing defensive. Climax brewed at Christmas. Family mandate. Neutral Switzerland. Mom's cabin in the Poconos. Snow blanketing pines like absolution. Sarah came solo. +1 a colleague named Liam. Ginger and kind. Her buffer. Dad grumbled but relented. Eggnog spiked heavy. Tensions simmered from arrival. Assigned rooms, Joshua and me sharing the loft, Sarah and Liam downstairs. Dinner was a minefield, crackers popping, lights twinkling, but Dad's toast skirted us. To resilience. Joshua's hand found mine under the table. Anchor. Midnight. Gifts unwrapped. The storm hit. Sarah cornered us by the tree. Ornaments glinting accusatory. This you too. It's killing me. Seeing the happiness I wanted. With him. Liam hovered awkward. I stepped forward. Sarah. No. Voice steel. I filed the papers today. Final. She thrust an envelope at me. Divorce decree. Signatures fresh. But Joshua? If you hurt him, blood or not, I'll bury you, Joshua paled. Sis, save it. She whirled, storming out to the porch, Liam trailing. The cabin fell silent, fire crackling judgment. Dad rose, glass in hand. Enough. All of you grow the fuck up. Blood's thicker, but love, that's the wild card. He eyed me, grudging. Treat him right, Hayes. Or else. Alone in the loft, snow falling soft outside, Joshua curled into me, shaking. She's right. We're the villains in her story. I held him tighter, kissing his temple. No. We're the epilogue. Messy, but ours. New Year's dawned crisp. Resolutions whispered in dawn light. Therapy together. Family men slow. Back in the city, we moved in his place, our place. Boxes mingling books and art, my Ohio quilt over his duvet. But betrayal's shadow lingered. February, a client dinner, high roller gala at the plaza, chandeliers dripping wealth. Joshua schmoozed, radiant in tux, while I nursed scotch, Ohio insecurity whispering imposter. A colleague, Mark, slick divorce attorney, cornered him by the bar, hand low on his back, laugh too intimate. Jealousy flared, irrational. Later, in our cab home, I snapped, flirting with Mark? Really? Joshua's eyes flashed. Networking, Ty. Not everything's a threat. Feels like it. The words unleashed. My fears. The closet's echo. Sarah's ghost. What if I'm not enough? The straight-washed hack. He grabbed my face. Fierce. Enough? You're everything. But trust or this dies. The fight escalated home, doors slamming, accusations flying. You pull away when it's hard, he yelled, voice breaking. Like the bar. Like always. And you push. Like I can just rewrite my bones. I roared back, shoving a lamp, crash, bulb shattering like that Hampton's bottle. He lunged then, not away, but into, fists grabbing my shirt, slamming me against the wall. Fight me, then, hate me if it makes you feel. Our breaths heaved, faces inches, rage a live thing. And then pivot. His mouth crashed mine, brutal, teeth clashing, hands tearing at clothes. We fucked against the wall, raw and reclaiming, his nails raking my back, my hips bruising his, the line from fury to fire seamless. Mine, he growled. Inside me, world narrowing to thrust and gasp. After, collapsed on the rug amid shards, he traced my bruises. Rage to this. Every time, I kissed his knuckles, bloodied from the lamp. Better than numb, spring thawed the rifts. Sarah visited once. Coffee in neutral Starbucks. Awkward hugs, then ease-over lattes. Liam's good, she shared, ring glinting new. Real. You, happy, I said, meaning it. Sorry, again, forgiven, her smile, tentative. Just be his hero, okay? Dad softened gradual golf invites, gruff attaboys post-closes. Mom hosted brunches, herbed quiches a bridge. Our first pride, rainbow flags whipping Fifth Avenue, Joshua's hand in mine public, unashamed. He volunteered at the booth, slinging water to marchers. I manned the firm's table, handing flyers on queer rights litigation. Alex, our pro bono kid, now 18 and out, hugged us both. You saved me. Now live it. Summer hit, and we road tripped, not 66, But the Hudson Valley Farms hikes, his camera capturing us mid-laugh, sweat slick on trails. In a B&B's clawfoot tub, bubbles foaming, he proposed casual. Marry me? Make it legal. Messy. Ours. I pulled him close. Water sloshing. Yes. God. Yes. The wedding was small Central Park boathouse. Autumn blaze. Sarah maid of honor. Her toast tear-laced. To second acts. And brothers who become homes. Dad walked me down the aisle, grumbling don't fuck it up, but eyes proud. Vows exchanged under arches. Rings simple platinum. Kiss ceiling amid cheers. Years later, looking back, the bottle, the bluff, the rage turned passion. It was all prelude to this. Joshua's head on my chest. Our rescue pup snoring at foot. City humming beyond windows. Humanistic? Hell yes. We bent, broke, rebuilt, not perfect, but profoundly ours. Love isn't the absence of storm. It's dancing in the downpour. The proposal lingered like champagne haze, but reality's undertow pulled fast. Wedding planning amid billables was a farce. Joshua's Pinterest boards clashing my elopement now pragmatism. Vows in the park. 50 guests max. I'd insist over breakfast bagels. His eyes sparkling mischief. 50? Boring. Think drag queens. String quartet. Rooftop afterparty with skyline views. He'd counter. Stealing my locks. Fingers lingering on mine. We compromised. Boathouse ceremony. Loft reception at our West Village pad. Guest list trimmed to essentials. Sarah Dove in her event planner jeans activated. Scouting florists while ribbing. No Ohio polka. Tie. Classy chaos only. Dad footed the bill. Grudging. One wedding per screw-up. Haze. But he teared up at suit fittings. Muttering. Looks good on you. Deeper currents stirred. Though Joshua's wanderlust bubbling. A case wrapped early autumn. Freeing weekends. He pitched Iceland. Northern Lights. Hot Springs. Pre-honeymoon recon. I balked. Spreadsheets open. Trial prep starts Monday. Can't. His face fell. Masked quick. Right? Duty calls. The subtext festered. My grind versus his gypsy soul. Nights. He'd scroll travel blogs while I reviewed briefs. Tension coiling silent. You're here. But not, he said one evening. Wine glass twirling. Like I'm the side hustle. Side? This pays the mortgage. Defensive. Hyo-thick. You think lights are worth derailing? It's not derailing, it's living. Voice rising. He set the glass down hard. When's enough? Ty? When we're old. Regretting the unpursued. The fight simmered cold. Apologies mumbled over coffee. But resentment rooted. Sprouting in small barbs. My eye rolls at his shelter shifts. His sighs over my golf with Dad. Climax brewed at the bachelor party. His idea. Low-key. Poker and bourbon at a speakeasy in the Bowery. Invites to firm bros and his queer crew. I arrived late. Court overrun. Finding them mid-hand. Joshua dealing with flair. Laugh booming. Mark was there, the gala flirt. Arm slung casual over Joshua's chair. Whispers close. Jealousy. Dormant. Ignited. I nursed a rocks glass in the corner. Watching Mark's hand brush Joshua's thigh. Innocent? The bourbon soured. When the game broke for smokes, I cornered Joshua in the alley. Neon flickering on brick. What's with Mark? Still networking? He exhaled smoke. Brow furrowing. Jesus. Ty. It's poker. Let loose. Loose like your hand on his knee earlier? Venom spilled. Irrational. Or is this payback for Iceland? His eyes narrowed. Sig dropping crushed. Payback? You're paranoid. And controlling. Controlling? I'm committed. Voice echoing off dumpsters. You're the one flirting fire. He stepped in, chest to chest. Rain starting to patter. Flirting? That's your fear talking, the closet ghost. Whispering I'm too much. Too much? Try too free. I shoved him. Alley wall catching his back. While I chain myself for us. Rage mirrored the Hamptons bottle. His fist bunching my collar. Yanking me close. Chain? You built this cage. Tyler. Break it, or break us. Breaths ragged. Faces inches. The pivot hit. His mouth on mine. Furious. Claiming tongue demanding. Hands pinning wrists above head. Rain slicked us. Alley shadows hiding as clothes tugged frantic. Against the wall. Belt buckles clinking. He entered me rough. Gasps swallowed in thunder. Feel that? He growled. Thrust deep. Real. Not chains. I arched. Nails digging his shoulders. Release crashing wave-like. Yours. I panted. World dissolving to slick skin and storm. After. Slumped against brick. Rain washing clean. He cupped my face. No more ghosts. Promise. Promise. Kiss soft now. Ceiling. The wedding dawned golden. Leaves aflame in the park. Guests milled. Sarah radiant in emerald silk. Mia her shadow. Dad dapper. Mom tearful with lilies. Alex. Our teen charge. Now college bound. Beaming ringside. Joshua waited at the arch. Tux sharp. Eyes only mine, hazel depths promising forever. Vows were us. Raw. Laced humor. I hated your perfection. I started. Voice steady. Crowd chuckling. Your ease. Your light. Thought it dimmed mine. But you ignited it. I promised to burn bright with you. Through cases. Chaos. All. He grinned. Teary. And I hated your walls. Tyler Hayes. Sturdy, but solitary. You taught me home's not place, but person. I vow to climb them daily, hand in yours. To wander, but always return. Rings exchanged. Kiss electric, cheers erupting. Sarah whooping loudest. Reception thrummed. String quartet swinging jazz. Drag queen MC roasting dad gentle. First dance to Coltrane's, my one and only love. His head on my shoulder. World fading to heartbeat. Honeymoon. Iceland. My concession. Aurora's dancing green. Geothermal pools steaming. We soaked naked. Stars wheeling. His fingers tracing tattoos. Worth the fight, he murmured. Every shove. Laughter bubbled. Love solid. Back home. Life layered richer. Firm promoted us partners proper. Dad's toast at the holiday gala. To the Kensington Hayes Alliance. Unbreakable. Sarah thrived in D.C. Visits laced ease. Her wedding to Liam. Bring. Us best men tandem. But humanism's core, the work beyond. Joshua's shelter expanded. Me volunteering weekends. Tutoring kids like young Alex. Stories mirroring mine. One night. Post-shift. A boy cornered me. How'd you know? You were straight. Right? I knelt. Honest. Thought I was. Till love rewrote the script. It's okay to edit yours. Joshua watched from the door. Pride soft. Home. Over takeout. He proposed expansions. Adopt? Someday? Someday? I echoed. Future vast. Years wove. Cases won. Travels etched. Morocco markets. Tokyo neon. Fights flared, his impulsivity. My caution but rage turned passion. Reliable as rain. One anniversary. Central Park, same spot. Bottle of that Hampton scotch. To unexpected, he toasted. Eyes twinkling. To us. Clink. Kiss. City eternal witness. Wait. This is file 4. But story is 5 parts. Adjust. Wait. Mistake. Previous was file 3 ending at wedding planning fight. File 4 wedding and early marriage. File 5 deeper years and end. Decade marker hit like a benchmark case. 10 years since vows. The firm a powerhouse. Our loft expanded to a brownstone in Brooklyn. Backyard herb garden Joshua's pride. Kids came via surrogacy. Eli. 5. Curly-haired tornado with Joshua's wit. Lila. 3. My blue eyes but his boundless curiosity. Morning's chaos. Pancakes flipping. Eli quizzing on dinosaurs. Lila smearing jam masterpieces. Daddy Ty. Why rainbows? She'd ask. Finger painting. 'Cause love's every color, Joshua'd chime, winking over coffee. Parenting cracked us open. Sleepless colic nights. Preschool politics. The terror of school shootings dominating news. Joshua thrived. Story times at the shelter blending home. I armored, teaching Eli chess to strategize fears. World's tough, I'd say, bored between us. But smart wins. Nah, he'd counter. Night leaping. Heart does. Fights evolved, not rage. But where his late fundraisers clashing my trial marathons. Eli's fevers hitting mid-brief. One blizzard night. Snow howling. Joshua stormed in post-event. Coat shedding flurries. Missed Lila's recital. Again. I looked up from laptop. Eli asleep on my lap. Deposition ran long. You know. No? I plan around you. Ty. Always the afterthought. The old coil tightened. Afterthought? This roof. Their college funds, my grind. Your grind, he echoed. Voice ice. Ours is shared. Or was. He retreated to the study. I paced kitchen. Tea steeping forgotten. Guilt gnawed Ohio echo. Provider as savior. Dawn. I slipped in. Curling behind him on the leather couch. Sorry. We're team. His sigh softened. Team. Yeah. Hand lacing mine. Sleep claimed us tangled. Betrayals paled to growth. Sarah's divorce from Liam. Amicable. Her therapy quip. Your fault. Boys inspiring. She rebounded fierce. Partner track in D.C. Visits with her girlfriend Rosa. Eli's auntie-chef for empanadas. Dad's health scare heart stint. Hospital fluorescence harsh. Mended fences final. Bedside. Monitors beeping. He gripped my hand. Proud. Son. You and Josh. Best merger I brokered. Joshua teared. Love you. Pops. Mutual. Kid. Wink weak. But real. Mom passed gentle cancer quiet. Hospice gardenias scenting her goodbye. Funeral rain lashed. But toasts at the wake, her affirmations echoing. She saw us first, Joshua said. Arm around me. Kids with Sarah. Humanism deepened in service. The shelter became our legacy. Kensington Hayes Center. Beds for 50. Job training. Pride Library stocked Baldwin. Eli volunteered young. Reading to runaways. Lila finger-painted murals. The teen. Jamie. Echoed Alex. You get it, families chosen. One pride. Floats thundering. Joshua hoisted Lila on shoulders, Eli waving signs. "Daddies," they chanted. I pulled him close, kiss amid confetti. "Hated you once," I murmured. "Luckiest hate," he replied, grin sunbright. Climax revisited. Firm crisis. Merger collapsing amid fraud allegations. Opponents gunning. Headlines screaming Kensington corruption. Dad retired abrupt. Dad's shadow looming. Late nights war-roomed. Joshua and I tag-teaming briefs. Coffee four-drip. Stress fractured. Him snapping at Eli's bedtime stories. Me missing Lila's school play. The blowout hit home. Post-dinner, kids' abed. Dishes clattering. "You're checked out," he accused. Sponge slamming sink. "This case over us? Us? It's survival," I yelled, voice carrying. "Lose this. Lose everything. Home. Center. Their future." He whirled. Eyes blaze. "Survival? You're suffocating us." Step forward. Shove. My chest. Then his pinning me to fridge. Magnets clattering. "Wake up. Ty." Rage surged. Familiar. My hands fisting his shirt. Yanking. Mouths crashing war. Kitchen island dug backs. Plates shattering like echoes. But we devoured. Clothes shed frantic. His thigh between mine. Gasps echoing. On the floor. Amid ceramic shards. He took me urgent. "Love you. Fight you. Need you." Thrusts punctuation. Climax shattered us. Release raw. Tears mingling sweat. "Don't leave," I whispered after. His weight solace. "Never." Kiss forehead. "We're the case we win." Dawn. Clean up quiet. Broom sweeps. Kids none wiser. The merger salvaged. Headlines flipped. Kensington triumph. But victory hollow we therapy dove. Unpacking armor. Aging graced us. Grays threading Joshua's curls. My laugh lines deepening. Travels shifted. National parks with kids. Eli's boring morphing awe at Yosemite's falls. "Like your stories, Dad," he'd concede. Retirement loomed. Firm handed to Sarah's protege. We volunteered full center expansions. Queer elder programs. Joshua's book. Memoirish. From Hate to Heat. Bestseller modest. Proceeds funding scholarships. Final hook circle. Hampton's Redux. Family beach house sold but rented for anniversary. Bottle opened, not shattering. Sipped on deck. Waves serenade. Sarah there with Rosa. Kids building castles. Dad dozing in hammock. "To rage," Joshua toasted. Arm around me. "To passion." Clink. Salt air bomb. As sun dipped. Eli ran up. Sandy hug. "Daddies forever?" "Forever," we chorused. Lila giggling chorus. Human end. Not flawless, but woven threads of betrayal mended stronger. Conflicts catalysts. Love the constant. In America's churn, we carved queer constancy. Messy. Mighty. Ours.